Does anybody else feel a little uneasy when a celebrity dies and there's sort of a mass instance of mourning? I've got no problem with people getting a bit unhappy when somebody they admire, a music star, an actor, whoever, passes away. You know, maybe you crack out the greatest hits, maybe you watch some of their movies. Personally, I'm a big wrestling fan, and when Roddy Piper died recently, I watched a few of his classic matches on YouTube, you know, a couple of scenes from the film They Live, and spent what I think was a healthy amount of time reflecting on his career, because he entertained me and I thank him for that. But I didn't know the guy, he wasn't a friend or family member, I didn't know his true personality, his real views on the world, although people like Alex Jones want to spin it and say that he was this big truth seeker or whatever. He wasn't somebody that I had a personal connection with. So why the hell would I mourn his death? Why would I cry? Why would I go through the stages of grief? This is a man I only knew as a character, as a scripted, and not so scripted in some cases, television personality. And I bring this up because, of course, we recently had the passing of Cilla Black, a big entertainer here in the UK, a household name. People in my generation basically know her as the funny woman with the big teeth who said surprise, surprise. But credit where credit's due, she was a big UK celebrity. But why would people mourn her death? Why would they line the streets getting emotional, crying to their family members? To me, it's not normal behaviour. As somebody who has been to far too many funerals in the past couple of years, I couldn't imagine putting myself through that horrible emotional roller coaster for a celebrity. I don't think I would genuinely feel that kind of emotion in the first place for somebody that I don't even know. But I also don't understand why you would even put yourself in a position to have those emotions brought out of you. When you're in a crowd of people and there's a sad vibe and an unhappy vibe, it does bring it out of you. So why would you put yourself in that position? Most people have enough grief in real life, and if you don't, you're lucky. Most people suffer enough loss without lining the streets and blubbering up at somebody they've only met on the television. I don't know what that is. It's weird to me. Is it like a Christmas episode of EastEnders, you know, where somebody dies and everybody gets upset? Obviously drama and escapism does evoke that sometimes, and that is what makes good television sometimes, and it's an art form that can be respected. But is this all that is? Is this sort of a live stage show? Is this a theatre that people go to go on that emotional roller coaster? There's certainly a ritualist element to it. Funerals are rituals, really, aren't they? But seeing people throw the flowers onto the car as it's passing by, onto the hearse, all this kind of harvesting of emotional energy and people that are tuning in live to Sky News to see it all live for 2 hours, that has a real effect on the population of the country. As somebody who looks at these things from a distance, it's just a bit creepy and weird, isn't it? It's the cult of celebrity. These people we put up on pedestals, who we admire as we look up to them in their ivory towers. And I just think it's creepy behaviour. And I wonder how many people who attended the sort of public side of the procession have actually missed the funerals of loved ones or friends or old friends who they lost touch with, but were at this event. What is it about a celebrity that is more important than people that have actually touched you in real life and you've had a real connection with, even if it was brief? Somebody you were friends with at school, or a teacher that really helped you through a tough spot, or anything. It's sad that we don't necessarily go to their funerals, or that we might not even be welcome to their funerals, but when a celebrity dies, we line the streets. Of course, there were a lot of people who were just gawking at it all, gawking at the spectacle of it all, you know, with their selfies out as the hearse drove past, like it was a carnival parade or something. That's also quite disturbing behaviour to me. Sometimes I see these high-profile celebrity funerals with the media and the hordes of screaming and crying fans, and I feel like, fuck off. Let the family deal with this. Let them have some peace. This is their relative, their loved one, not yours. You just listen to the fucking music. Go home and do your own thing on the quiet. Don't inject yourself into a personal matter. Why are you so obsessed with somebody you've never met? And if you did meet them, they'd probably be a prick to you. And I think it's quite interesting that we had the same spectacle, mass mourning when Jimmy Savile died. Of course, I'm not trying to associate Cilla Black with Jimmy Savile, although there's a lot of shared friends there. But the point is, what has it got to do with us when a celebrity dies, especially when we don't really know them? What are we mourning? Their public character, their facade that was put out through the media. There were people who knew what Jimmy Savile was and let people play out this weird, creepy ritual. But really, what has any of it got to do with us? The media obviously loves it because they sell newspapers on the headlines and get ratings. When a wrestler dies, a part of me, in a sick and twisted way, because I own a pro wrestling website, a part of me goes, oh, a wrestler's died today, that means I'm going to get some more hits. I'm just being brutally honest. It's true. And that means I get paid a little bit more ad revenue. In fact, am I exploiting Cilla Black by talking about it here on my YouTube channel? It's a weird one, and I just thought I would share some of that perspective with everybody. What do you guys think? Does it weird you out when people take celebrity deaths a bit too personally and a bit too seriously? Or am I just being an insensitive prick who probably just needs a few more hugs to let it all come flooding out? Let me know in the YouTube comments below, and I will talk to you again soon in a new podcast or video as and when they get released. Cheers everybody.